අධිකරණයේ නඩු තීන්දුව පදනම් කරගෙන මේ ගරු කතෝලික සභාව දැන් අපරාධ නඩු මේ වග උත්තරකරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් විශේෂයෙන්ම මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන නිලන්ත ජයවර්ධන සහ සිසිර මෙන්ඩිස්ට විරුද්ධව අපරාධ නඩු ගොනු කරයි කියලා අපි විශ්වාසවන්ත වෙනවා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි සියලු දෙනාට. Yesterday, a 7-member judiciary at the level of the Supreme Court gave a judgment which is a historic one in the history of this country. Even if a person becomes a president with executive power, or any other person assumes responsibilities in order to prevent evil from happening, if these people, they themselves engage in such activities, the law in this country has shown that such persons, even if it is a president or any other high official, can be punished by the law for behaving in that illegal fashion. That has been proven by this judgment. What is important in this is not so much the amount of punishment, money that has been decreed to be paid by these people. But these innocent people, they lost their lives and their loved ones because people who have been depending on the taxpayers' money, who have held high positions on the money that has been paid by the taxpayers, have neglected their duty to attend to the safety and security of the citizens of this country. They have been depending on the taxes that these poor people pay, but they have not done their responsibility to protect them. That time, the Attorney General of that time, Mr. Dappula Dilivera, informed that there was a coup or a conspiracy behind this attack, and that it should be investigated. But so far, this has not been done in a comprehensive manner. The judgment given will be a great opening for us to start off looking into all the other aspects of this case. No more can officials and politicians hang behind selfish motives and selfish attitudes in order to escape from this fact. They are not immune. We are also very angry about the immunity given to the presidents, because why should the president be afraid of the people? Why should he need immunity? This constitution is wrong. Every citizen in this country is subject to the law, and he cannot, any citizen, even the president, cannot violate the law of the country. And especially if a president is not elected by the people, then that person's authority is not legal in that sense, because he is not elected by the people, by direct vote, as it should be. But it doesn't matter, whoever is president, he is not immune from prosecution. And the courts have proved that the title is not the most important thing, but what you do is the most important thing. And if you do not observe the rules and the laws of the country, you can be prosecuted and you can be punished. law cannot be subjected to the whims and fancies of the politicians. That is a terrible story of Sri Lanka ever since the 1970s, when one minister exercised more authority than even the prime minister of that government. Starting from that, in the 1978 government, the new constitution was abused when the houses of the judges were stoned because they gave a judgment which is not acceptable to the politicians. But the politicians are not the ones who decide on the law of the country. The judges are the ones who decide on the law of the country. And this was a sad chapter that began that time and went on becoming worse and worse as time went up to today. So we hope that with this judgment, a new era for the freedom of the law and justice will start in our country. We have been told that several attempts have been made by some of the top officials of the police to try to hide the facts. And we have been told that someone, a very high officer in the police, has been trying to get the B reports under his control, even though he is accused of having neglected his duty. This is unacceptable behavior by any officer. Such officers should not be promoted further. And any promotion given to such officials by the government is an act against the law of the country and ethics and principles of human coexistence. One typical case is what happened at All Saints Church, Borella, where 1 year ago on 11th January, a live hand grenade was discovered, and some innocent people who were working in the church were taken and accused by the then Minister of Public Security and also the then Secretary of the Defense, who is now also the Secretary of Defense. Wild allegations were made against these innocent people, and after about a month they were released without any charges. And up to now, 1 year, no progress has happened on this matter. This all shows the weakness of the implementation of the law by the law enforcing agencies, which is a very sad chapter in our country. We hope that with this judgment, Sri Lanka will have a new beginning, that the rule of law is above the politicians. The politicians cannot decide on the rule of law in a country. Besides, this Presidential Commission report very clearly indicates several officers who have been found guilty of neglecting their duties and are recommended for disciplinary action by the appropriate police authorities. But up to now, no disciplinary action has happened. So these are all indications of the failure of the government and those in power in order to ensure fair play for our people. And we will now continue our process in order to get justice for the 272 people who lost their lives, including 82 children and 47 foreign tourists. We know that with this attack, tourism completely collapsed, leading to the present crisis in Sri Lanka. It is not only COVID, it really started with the Easter Sunday attack. And who orchestrated this attack needs to be investigated further, because we are not satisfied about just the authors of what they did, but also those who had contacts with this Saran Hasim's group, who knew about them, who had dealings with them. Those must be investigated in order to find out the real truth of what happened. That is why, if our Sri Lankan government fails to do that, then we have no other way than to go to the international community seeking for justice for these people. So we want to tell them, this is a beginning, and it's a very happy beginning, and we are very happy that the learned judges gave us such hope for a future for this country, which is a needed, much needed hope for the future, for developing our nation. Thank you very much.